How to get the private pilot license. Obtaining a private pilot certificate in the United States is a structured process that involves meeting specific eligibility criteria, completing required training, and passing necessary examinations. I will discuss step-by-step guide to help you navigate the entire process. The first, eligibility requirements. Age must be at least 17 years old. Language proficiency demonstrate the ability to read, speak, write, and understand English. Medical certification, you have to obtain a third class medical certificate from an Federal Aviation Administration authorized aviation medical examination. So FAA, which stands for Federation Aviation Administration. So you need to get a third class medical certificate from FAA authorized aviation medical examiner. The second, choose a flight school. There are two types of school, Part 61 versus Part 141 schools. The difference between these two schools is Part 61 is flexible training schedules. Part 141 schools are structured programs. So you have to decide between Part 61 flight schools, which offer flexible training schedules, and Part 141 schools, which provide structured programs. Both schools are FAA approved, but Part 141 schools may have more stringent requirements. Begin flight training. There are two types of training: ground school training, flight instruction. Ground school training includes learn theoretical aspects of the aviation, including aerodynamics, navigation, weather, and regulations. Flight instructions basically receive hands-on training with a certified flight instructor to develop practical flying skills. So now accumulate flight hours to go for the actual test, like driving test, like driving for private car. There are certain requirements. The minimum hours of flying, at least 40 hours of flight time, including 20 hours of flight training with an instructor, which I completed. I took around 22 or 23 hours of flight training with instructor. 10 hours of solo flight time. After that, you have to fly at least 10 hours by yourself. 3 hours of cross country flight training, 3 hours of night flight training, 3 hours of training on areas of operation specified by the FAA. So total 40 hours of flight time you must have to complete before going for actual test. This is state requirements. The reality is national average is 65 to 70 hours. It depends on person to person. Focus, consistency, learning capability, motivation, all those stuffs. Like, after taking, I'm talking about myself, taking 20 hours to 22 hours of flying with instructor, I just, interrupted. I didn't take lessons for last 12 months. So definitely I have to go back through some of the stuff that, I forget. So it depends on the consistency, motivation, and focus. But minimum requirements, let's say someone is very consistent and focused and motivated, but still he needs to complete 40 hours of flying time. Pass the FAA knowledge test. Written exam. Achieve a passing score on the FAA private pilot knowledge test, which assess your understanding of aviation principle and regulations. Basically, whether the rules, regulation, contracting with towers, and um, the rules and regulations, basically how to operate, all this stuff. Complete a check ride. Practical test. Demonstrate your flying proficiency and knowledge to an FAA examiner during a check ride, also known as practical test. So you have to also complete a check ride. Obtain your certificate. Application. Submit your application to the FAA, including all necessary documentation and proof of completed training. Upon approval, you will receive your private pilot certificate, allowing you to fly as pilot in command of an aircraft. I got it. So I have the student private pilot certificate. So how much total cost to obtain a private pilot certificate? The total cost for obtaining a private pilot certificates varies, but typically ranges from $8,000 to $15,000, depending on factors like flight school rates and individual progress. Time commitment. While the FAA requires a minimum of 40 flight hours, most students require more hours to be adequately prepared for the check ride. Continuing education. Engage in ongoing learning and practice to maintain and enhance your piloting skills. If you need more information, you can also look at the FFA's official guide on becoming a pilot. So let's embarking on the journey to become a private pilot is both challenging and rewarding. With dedication and the right resources, you can achieve this significant milestone in aviation. Good luck.